Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. Today we're going to run through our Respiratory Relief Tincture. This is a staple in my cupboard. I use it for myself, for my children. I give it to family and friends. It is an amazing remedy to help combat coughs, colds, and flus. So what is a tincture? A tincture is made using natural herbs and a solvent, which could be either alcohol-based or an apple cider vinegar. Today, I'm going to be showing you a version with apple cider vinegar because obviously I give this to my kids, so I'm not going to make them a tincture with alcohol. So first things first, make sure you're working in a very clean working space. And we want to make sure that we sanitize the jar that we're going to use for our tincture. So to do this, we're going to place the jar in the oven and set it to 250, leaving it for 20 minutes. When it's done, pull it out, let it cool. For the cap and the ring, we're going to put that in a pot of boiling water for 5 to 10 minutes. Then we're going to remove that from the heat, let it dry, and then that's done as well. And the jar you're going to use is sanitized. The next thing we're going to need is our herbs. So today we're using an organic rosemary, an organic mullein, and organic thyme. Now these can be store-bought. I would recommend buying it from somewhere like Foothills Naturals, Starwest Botanicals, or New Direction Aromatherapy. All great sources to buy some bulk herbs to make your tinctures. For the solvent, I'm going to be using an organic non-GMO apple cider vinegar. This can be found at Costco for a very cheap price point. So if you're looking for one, that's where I'd recommend to grab it. I highly recommend to get a wide funnel so that when you pour your herbs into the jar, they don't spill out all over the table. This is very handy. The other things we'll need, which we won't need until the tincture is complete, is going to be a large bowl, a metal strainer, a couple sheets of cheesecloth, and then some amber bottles that you can store your finished product in. This video will be short and sweet because it's a really simple procedure to make this tincture. What takes the most amount of time is waiting for it to be completed so that you can strain and bottle it. So the amount of the herbs that you use for your own tincture is really up to you, but this is the blend that I like to do, which is 45 grams of the organic rosemary, 55 grams of the organic mullein, and 80 grams of the organic thyme. Every herb has its own weight density, so you'll notice that there are different ratios looking in the jar. So make sure to weigh them so you know how much you're putting it in. So if you wanted to break down the ratio of the herbs in the tincture at a later date, you can do that calculation. So next, we're going to talk about the herbs and some of their healing properties. So we're starting with rosemary. Rosemary is really great. It is a natural expectorant, which helps to thin mucus. It's also antispasmodic, which helps to calm nerves, convulsions, and muscular spasms. As well, it's antimicrobial, which helps to fight against germs, microbes, and it's also anti-inflammatory, which helps to soothe inflammation. Mullein here is a natural expectorant and demulcent. So what that means, again, the expectorant, it thins the mucus, and the demulcent helps to soothe the mucous membranes. This is really, really great for dry, hacking coughs. And lastly, we'll talk about thyme. So thyme, again, is a natural expectorant to help thin the mucus. It's also anti-inflammatory to help soothe inflammation. It's also antiviral, so it helps to oppose against viruses, and it's antimicrobial, which helps to fight against microbes, germs. Lastly, we'll talk about apple cider vinegar. So this is made from the fermented juice of apples. As well, it is considered a natural expectorant to help alleviate congestion, and it has been used since the 1800s to help treat persistent coughs. Okay, so getting started, I'm going to start with the mullein. Now this is light and airy, so I'm going to put it on the bottom so that the other herbs will help press it down. And the goal here is to fill our jar up about 3/4 of the way full. Once you get the liquid in it, it will also compact the herbs down a bit. Then we're going to follow it with the rosemary. Takes a bit to get in there. There we go. And lastly, we're going to fill it with the thyme. First, I'm going to press it down. Okay, take that out, press it down again, and voila, we are full. Now for the apple cider vinegar. Give it actually a shake before I open it. So while I'm pouring this in, one of the things that I'll do is use a knife to help make sure the liquid gets all the way through the product. And once it's full, I'm going to stir it and then make sure it's topped up again because we want about 1 inch above the herbs. Okay, so I've used the butter knife just to stir it around, and we're just going to top it up now with the apple cider vinegar, and I'm going to go all the way to the top. Again, this will all press down. And then I'm going to put the lid on. Shake it up. So as it absorbs, it's going to press those herbs down, and then I'm going to top it up again slightly with the apple cider vinegar. Again, your choice on how much of each herb you want to use to make your own tincture. When this is complete, I'm going to guesstimate it'll make about 6 4-ounce amber bottles, maybe a little bit more. Depends on how well you strain that out. Now that this recipe is complete, we're going to put this in a cool, dark place and leave it for 6 to 8 weeks. So I'll make sure to put the date on top so I know when I jarred it, and put a reminder in my calendar or phone for when I need to strain this out. You can leave a tincture for up to a year if you want to. The longer you leave it, the more healing properties are going to come from the herbs into your tincture. So we will date this and put it on a shelf. And don't forget that every few days, we're going to come down, give it a shake, and we're going to flip it, just making sure that it really gets through all the herbs. So although we are not straining it today, I will give a quick example of what you need to do. You're going to grab a large bowl and a metal strainer, and you're going to cut 2 lengths of cheesecloth. Now I like to make it a little bit longer, and I like to do it one way first and then the other way. So once you have that done, you would open your jar and pour your tincture into this. And then we would lift up all of the corners, just like so. Imagine there's a bunch of herbs down there. And then we would twist it and strain it and squeeze it out into the strainer. When I was done doing that, I would let it sit for a little longer to release any more juice that's in there. Pick it up again, twist it, strain it, squeeze it into the strainer and the bowl. And then you would take a funnel and you would fill up your glass amber jars to make your own respiratory relief. I hope you guys enjoyed my video on how to make your own respiratory relief tincture, and I hope that you try this out. Again, play with the amount of herbs you use. It's up to you on what you're putting into your own tincture. I've just given you a base recipe to start with. It's very potent, I will say. If you've ever tried apple cider vinegar, it's pretty acidic. Not all kids like it. That's fine. Maybe throw a little honey in their dosing to make them take it better. But as I always tell my children, it's nothing like the Buckleys I had to take.